Welcome to Ending the Stupid Gender War. This show is only for intelligent, mature, non-ADHD, non-doom scrolling audiences only. So, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let us go ahead and begin, shall we? Alright, we got quite a spicy one for today. I can already tell. Alright, let's jump right into it, starting with the ladies. What do we have in the ridiculous, stupid gender war of today? Very popular one today, a very famous battle we shall be going over here. Alright, so number one from the ladies, the hypocrisy exposer. Men are so effing stupid. They've been consuming porn for free since dial-up, treating women like disposable tissues. But the second a woman figures out how to charge for it, she's a degenerate. You'll spend $100 on a strip club and a heartbeat to not even get... wow, that is very true. And a heartbeat to not even get laid, but a $10 subscription to actually interact with the creator who sets her own rules is a bridge too far? It's not about morality. It's about you losing your free buffet of female exploitation. Cry about it. I 100% support what this woman is saying here. There's so many guys out there who I really cringe to call them men, but for the purpose of simplicity. There's so many idiotic men out there who complain about OnlyFans. Shut up. Pornography has been around since, I don't know, the age of humanity. There's been what? Prostitution. We're not even talking about prostitution. If you want to cry about something, cry about prostitution, because that is extremely sad. You're talking about women using their bodies to make money. I'm against prostitution. Now, if it has to be done because the women who participate in prostitution, because there's no more, the age of pimps is all gone, right? This is all willingly. It's legalized in many countries, right? I would dare say the majority. Look, if a woman wants to prostitute her body, so be it. At least regulate it. Make sure that they're healthy. Make sure they don't have a certain amount of clients every day, because that'll tear them up from the inside out and emotionally and mentally. You don't want that. It's a horrible profession if you want to even call it a profession. But as they say, it's the oldest profession. We're not even talking about that though. Let's go ahead and go back to the main focus. All right. She has 100% reason to be talking like this, because those are effing stupid men who complain about OnlyFans and pornography. They're making money. So what? Are you jealous because they're making more money than you? Or maybe they're not making more than you. Maybe just, who cares how anybody earns a living in this world, as long as they're not directly trying to hurt somebody else. That's all that should count. So your opinion doesn't matter. I don't care if you're a religious person. I don't care if your moral compass is different than other. It has nothing to do with morality. It has everything to do with the word freedom. So don't be a hypocrite saying, I support freedom. I support the troops. Or whatever your chant is. Your chant is fine, but don't be hypocritical and tell these women who participate in OnlyFans and pornography, oh, you can't do that. You're a degenerate. You know how much of a fool you sound like? You know how hypocritical that is? On one hand, you're chanting for freedom. On the other, you're saying, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that. That looks bad. How are these women affecting your life directly? How are they affecting your life? Exactly. So shut up, right? 100%. Great introduction by the women here. 100%. I say, go get your bag. Earn that money. You go, girl. If that's the way you want to do you, it's your body, your choice. I'm for freedom. I don't know what everybody else is for. I stand for freedom. Number two, the financial emancipation argument. You know what's dumb? Working a 9-to-5 for a male boss who pays you less and sexually harasses you. Another valid point off the bat. OnlyFans, there we go, is women finally cutting out the middleman pimp, which is the entire traditional economy, and getting paid directly. If men are so logical, why do they hate the most logical free market solution ever? because your bruised ego can't handle that the girl you ignored in high school now makes more in a month than you do in a year by not giving a single F about your opinion? Absolutely. She didn't have to get that aggressive with it, but she has a damn point. It's jealousy. It's all these bitter, butthurt guys out there who are like, oh, I wish I could earn that much in a month. And newsflash, not every woman who conducts an OnlyFans account earns a lot of money. Not all of them win, you idiots. It's already a cutthroat competition on OnlyFans, especially at this point. Who cares? Who cares? You know, once again, freedom. Let freedom ring. Who cares how you ring the freedom bell? Right? What happened to the Liberty Bell? So you want to tell these women that they're degenerates and that you're against... Who cares if you're against OnlyFans and pornography? Like, put a sock in it. Like, right in your mouth. If the shoe fits, put the sock in your mouth. And stop spewing out nonsense. I agree with her. 2 bangers right off the bat. Very proud of the women here. So number 3, the control reclamation narrative. The most ridiculous male tears come from watching women control the gaze. In porn, which I also stand for, by the way, pornography is art. Don't like it? Don't watch it. Don't complain about it. Men dictate the fantasy. Brutal, degrading, and fake. Well, not all the time. There's a lot of... I don't even know one male porn star. I could probably recognize a few female porn stars just because I have watched porn in the past. I'm very proud of it. There's nothing wrong with pornography. You can learn a lot through pornography, visually. There's a lot of visual learners out there. Oh, okay. Because believe it or not, there's a lot of young adults who don't even know what a clitoris is or the labia. They don't know anything about the female anatomy. Well, porn can freaking show you. You can pretty much learn visually. You don't have to look at a book and be like, wow, this looks like I'm dissecting a squid or something. No offense, but I mean, it gets way too scientific. Why don't you see it and present it in a passionate form? It exists, so stop crying about it. A lot of things exist that people disagree with. Like if you come to Europe, oh, look at that woman. She's bare-breasted. I don't like, seeing breasts on a water fountain. Seriously? I mean, everybody here, man or woman, has sucked on their mother's breast. Shut up. And again, put the other sock in your mouth if the shoe fits, right? Now you got 2 socks in your mouth. If you're against OnlyFans or porn, you need to put both of your socks, those dirty socks, sweaty socks, straight into your mouth. Because all you're doing is talking trash. That's all you're doing. Now, I disagree with her about men dictating the fantasy. There's a lot of porn stars. They don't have to be part of a company, working for a company. That's kind of old school at this point. It's like OnlyFans. There's no difference. You can start your own pornography page, your channel, and it's on your own terms. You know, it doesn't have to be a fantasy. Maybe you can do lingerie only. Maybe you can do sexy pole dancing. Porn doesn't always have to be about penetration and involving 2 or 3 or freaking orgies, people. Pornography is simply showing male or female intimacy in an artistic way. That's all it is. It could be a business straight up, but it's not always the case. It's human sexuality. Everybody here was born out of sex. If it wasn't for sex, a penis and a vagina, you wouldn't exist. So why are you going to cringe your teeth and complain about something that you were literally a product of? Everyone's a product of sex. So shut up. It's art. There's a lot of artwork that people can disagree with. I don't care what you disagree with. I'm for freedom once again. So I do disagree with her about dictating because females now more than ever have tons of power. I would say the clear upper hand when it comes to intimacy and, everybody agrees that in a relationship, they say vagina power or whatever, like she's withholding sex or whatever. The women have the most power in a relationship naturally. But that doesn't mean that they get to dictate and abuse you and use you or do whatever they want like a dark queen. No, I don't think so. A real woman is nothing but love. And if she wants to have an OnlyFans and make a ton of money, why not? Now, if you're going to become a partner with such a person, then you guys got to talk about that. I have no business in that because you guys can agree with it. You guys can disagree with it. That's your guys' little discussion, not mine. So with that said, that's the only thing I'll disagree with her right there. But there's no demotion, by the way. I gotta disagree with that too. But again, to all the sorry, jealous, loser guys out there who have a problem with porn or OnlyFans, either grow up or shut up. If you can't grow up, then just shut it, right? All right, let's go ahead and shift to the guys. I can't wait to see what they think about this. Number one, the relationship destroyer. Is it though? Let's see if that's a valid point. I'll give him mercy. Women on OnlyFans are the ultimate contradiction. They want a high value man. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm already cringing my teeth right here. Who provides loyalty and security. While they sell their intimacy to thousands of strangers, they're just watching, man. It's not even that deep. They're just watching and paying her money. That's all that's going on. She's not sleeping with these guys for weed money. Really? Does everybody do weed? You see how immature this is? How stupid men think? It's the most profound act of self-sabotage imaginable. How? How? You are literally monetizing the very thing, exclusive intimacy, that forms the foundation of a real relationship. Once again, if you're in a relationship with such a person, doing an OnlyFans page, that's your guys' discussion. But you can't be spitting out into the rest of the world that OnlyFans should not exist, is demoralized, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. Either you do it or you don't, just like porn. Either you watch porn or you don't. Everybody has their preferences in this world. Respect freedom. Isn't that what the United States is supposed to be about? I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I stand for freedom. Even if I never served, I still would stand for freedom. And freedom means you choose whatever's legally available to do in this life. Other people don't have to like it. So don't be a hypocrite by saying all this gibberish right here, and then you turn the other cheek and say, oh yeah, Veterans Day is coming up. Oh yeah, and Memorial Day, and we gotta remember our freedoms. And no, where's those two socks? You gotta shove them deeper down your throat because you're a total hypocrite. Then you wonder why the good men don't want you. Excuse me. Real good men, like myself, don't care what a woman does. Now, if I'm in a relationship with her, we're gonna have that discussion. I'll be like, well, okay, OnlyFans. If my soulmate is doing OnlyFans and that's what she preferred and I agreed to it, we would both say, as mature, intelligent, and clever human beings, well, as long as that's all it is just showing a bunch of people your body and you're making tons of money from it, and that's what you want to do, honey, am I a simp for saying yes? No, because she's with me. See, I have security. These other guys, these garbage guys, don't. Now, I don't want that in my relationship. That's why it doesn't exist. But it doesn't mean I wouldn't be capable of accepting that had she said yes to that possibility. Because, in my honest opinion, it's just showing off your body to a bunch of strangers digitally, and you're completely safe. Oh, but they're going to spread my image, and who cares? It's not that they can put it on a billboard in the middle of a highway so the whole world can see. It's always going to be behind closed doors in the privacy of their own room and masturbating to it. In a way, it's kind of a compliment, isn't it? Millions of guys masturbating to your girls', videos or photos. Who cares? Who's getting the bag? Repeatedly. So does it really matter? Everybody's moral compass is different, but this has nothing to do with morality. I'm not religious, by the way, so you can stuff that extra sock in your mouth too. Not religious. Don't want to hear it. Then you wonder why the good men don't want you. That's a completely false statement. Good men. So, bad men support women's freedoms to do whatever they want with their body as long as it's legal and as long as that's what they want to do and they're not being forced to do it. That's what bad men are. That's not the definition of bad men in my book. You're not... Oh, literally, I have a book, by the way. You're not a partner. You're a public utility. The jealousy is just oozing out of this sad, pathetic guy right here. Just oozing. Let me get a taste of that jealousy in number 2. I bet there's more. The societal parasite argument. It's the dumbest, most short-sighted gift in history. Really? Let's see what kind of argument this is. You're not empowered. You're cashing in on a societal sickness. It's not a sickness. Get over yourself. When the Playboy bunnies first came out, hell, in China, when the women would show just a little bit of their naked shoulder or naked ankle. We're not even talking about the private parts. And guys going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over that little bit of skin. Like, seriously, you gotta shut your mouth, man. Just because we've reached this apex of female sexuality and sensuality, it doesn't mean that you get to call the shots and say what the rules should be and say women are not being empowered now more than ever. I'd much rather prefer the state that we are in these days with total freedom than limited freedom and women being stuck in marriages to where they're not allowed to divorce, committing, like they're ending their own lives, by the way, over it. And it's just, there's so much more to be pissed off about the further back in history you go, with women being suppressed with their freedoms that they should have. All the freedom. That's why I disagree with feminist extremists today. They have nothing to complain about. Feminist extremists have nothing to complain about today. Women have so much opportunity and power that, of course, the toxic ones want more. And I disagree with that. And that's where the guys get bitter. I understand that. But when the guys start acting like the very thing that they detest, because guys like their freedoms, right? Do you see women trying to trample on your freedoms? No. So why are guys trying to trample on the women's freedoms, such as OnlyFans or pornography? Or dressing a little bit more promiscuously? Who cares? You see, so the jerks come off as the ones who are trying to control you like a dictator from a communist country. That's where I draw the freaking line. All right? Okay, so let's see. Empowerment. You're causing it's not a societal sickness. It's not. There are so many other examples of real societal sicknesses, but again, it's freedom as long as they're not hurting somebody, right? You helped create. No, they did not help create it. They're participating in a totally legit and legal practice. It's art. You don't have to like it. You spent a decade calling male desire toxic. No, those are feminist extremists, right? I mean, when these idiots open their mouth, they always talk about toxic women, never real women. And then they apply it to everybody like a blanket statement. That's what's out today. That's what's in the popularity contest, right? When these idiots open their mouth, they talk about every woman like they're all the same. So it exposes them. It doesn't expose actual real women who are doing things legit and not harming anybody. But these idiot toxic guys here, that's who they're pointing fingers at, all of them. And then they're all bitter and miserable. They live alone and say they're happy when they know they're not. Then turned around and monetized the most degenerate, validation-starved version of it. That's your opinion. That's an idiot's opinion, by the way. You're not building a career. Oh, but they are. Many of them are. So what, you're jealous now? You're jealous of their career, buddy? You want to cry me a river? Maybe an ocean. You're strip mining your future for right now cash. There it is. There's the jealousy. Exposed. And the landscape you'll be left with, who cares what they'll be left with or not? Why do these idiots care so much about what other women do with their bodies and their time? Like, it's like dictator wannabes, I swear. A used up body and a soul. Okay, are you going to be with every single woman's body? Again, are you going to? No, right? So why don't you do you and let women do themselves? Maybe even literally in that sense. And a soul sold, and they didn't sell their soul, buddy. Get over yourself. They're doing a business in the safety of their own homes, almost all of them, or for a company that they chose to work with. You got to sign contracts. All right? There's no more pimps. And that's what she pointed out in her case, right? With the female points on the left. So, I mean, you know, these guys saying you sold your soul, you're degenerating the whole world, like, you gotta shut your mouth, man. You sound like such a... There's so many words I can put there. Insert insulting word, because that's the truth of it all. Okay, so won't be worth shit. Wow, okay. See, that's the type of vocabulary that comes out of these, you know, pieces of garbage out there who spew this nonsense. You see how bitter they are? You see, this is how they talk about women. When women are winning at something, but whether it be professionally or with sports or maybe mind games or something, like in a good way, like challenging, like solving puzzles or whatever, intelligent conversations, these douches start to get upset, these douchebags, and then they're going to start saying stuff that is hatred against women. It's disgusting behavior, to say the least. Real empowerment builds something, but they are building something. Their bank accounts. You got a problem with that? This just burns your dignity for fuel. And what is a streamer gamer doing? He's playing games like wearing pajamas in the comfort of his own bedroom, making money. What's the difference? One is naked or borderline naked with lingerie. The other one's in his pajamas or in his underwear. Who cares? And they're both being digitally watched and observed. So what's the problem? Oh, but I'm not getting naked. Okay, but where's the moral compass? You guys are both making money doing things online. Where's the problem? You see how stupid it is? And that's why I call it the stupid gender war. These idiots never self-reflect and look at the words coming out of their mouth. That's why I say put the socks in their mouth, right? The smellier, the better. Okay, last point from the idiots. The delusional entrepreneur defense. But they are entrepreneurs if they're making money. You got a problem with that? Stop calling it a business. It is a business. How they do their taxes or how they call it, they don't have to call themselves. Everybody's a business in this world. Your name means that you're a business, because that's my business. It's your business. That's our business. That's their business. You see how that works? It's simple English here. The proof is in the wording. That's where the pudding is. All right, so a business, this is all jealousy. This is all butthurt behavior here. A business creates value. They have value. If they get money and fame, that's value. Like it or not, they're winning, right? They're winning something. You're renting out your mental illness. They don't have a mental illness. These are all false accusations here. You're contributing to the sickness of society. You're mentally ill. This is all false. They stand against women's freedom to do something legit, legal, and safe, and calling it a startup. The most ridiculous thing is watching these women cry about mental health. That's totally separate, buddy. While their entire brand is fueling the loneliness epidemic. No, it's not. If you're lonely, that's your problem. That's your situation. It's not my problem. I can try to help you with that, but I can't help somebody who doesn't want to help themselves, like this guy here. He doesn't sound like he wants to help himself, because here he is whining and bitching and moaning and complaining. It's like an Uno reverse card, but they give themselves the Uno reverse card. They're exposing themselves as losers. Look at what this guy's crying about. The loneliness epidemic. Well, if the shoe fits, looks like you're the loser, right? If you don't have somebody by your side to love with all of your heart and soul now and forever, you're losing. You're not winning. I don't care how much you make. I don't care how famous you are. You're losing, because you're going to cry yourself at night, to sleep. And you're the one who feels the pain. And you can live in denial saying, oh, no, I'm happy. I'm not. Okay, that's clearly in denial because you don't have a partner. You're the one left without a chair when the music stopped. So go back to the jukebox, put another quarter, play that song again, and maybe you'll win this time. Maybe you'll get to shout bingo. But if you don't play, you'll never know. So who's the coward? Whining and complaining and moaning in his man cave. You are. If the shoe fits. All right, let's continue this ridiculous comment here. What the entire brand is fueling the loneliness epidemic and body dysmorphia. Last time I checked, women are smiling from ear to ear, having fun making money online. That's not body dysmorphia. I mean, if you're using filters, but you have a right to use filters. But I don't know. Are you their doctor? Are you their mental psychologist or therapist? And other women, okay, you're not a CEO. They could be if they own the company. Got a problem with it? You're a digital crack dealer. Wow, that is so stupid. Now we're talking about drugs? And your product is a false promise that you're worth paying for. Well, men are free to do with their money as they will. It's called residual income freedom, right? What you do with your money is none of my business. There's a lot of guys who are stupid and they waste it on gambling, or they go to the strip clubs and at least they're using it for a good deed by paying the strippers, right? They go, making it rain with $1 bills, $5 bills or whatever. However much you got, however much you want to spend. You want to spend it getting drunk at a bar, go ahead. Drink your troubles away. I'm not going to tell you no. That would be, quite hypocritical of myself because I support your freedom, right? you know, it's always surprising to see the guys react. They get all defensive too when you turn the tables around and say, wait a minute, man. What if I said this? Don't do this. Don't do that. You don't like it all of a sudden, do you? That's how women feel when they have success in something that they enjoy doing and you're trying to come and rain down on their parade. Who are you to tell them how they should live their lives? Are you their father? Are you their dictator in chief in command? No. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this ridiculous comment here. All right, so, and your product is a false promise that you're worth paying for because you're unattainable. No, that's not it at all. What do you mean unattainable? They could have a boyfriend or a husband. You don't know that. And even if they don't have to until they're ready. Maybe they're not ready. While being attainable to anyone with $6, it's a scam. Is it really though? Is she taking your money or you? No, that's not how it works. You're giving her money. And if the guys want to give her money, then that's what they want to do with their money. So now you want to control how people spend their money? Wow, that's kind of hypocritical, man. I don't want to see you on the 4th of July at a barbecue saying, singing the national anthem with your hand on your heart because you're a hypocrite. If this is what you're going to say at the same time. I don't salute you back. All right, so it's a scam and the mark is your own self-respect. Oh, wow. Okay. This is just so going, like, once again, you're not their fathers. So stop trying to act. This is just, it points out a clear and evident deficit of love and happiness from these guys. They're lonely. They're miserable. They're unhappy. This is the garbage that those, douchebags say. This is the garbage. So the women in this show, in today's show, have won every single point with a bit minor flaws, but that's my opinion about it. The guys have lost miserably in this battle. It's pretty much 100% victory for the women. These guys here, if the shoe fits, I really highly recommend that you change your sneakers. Because you need some real battle boots. You gotta come into these battles with logic, real logic. Not your own opinions and beliefs trying to dictate how women use their lives, right? How they spend their lives. That's not a battle. That's pretty much harakiri. You're committing, you're ending your own life. You're falling on your own your sword. When you fall on your own sword, it's really clearly established. The guys here have fell on their swords 3 times. So, yeah, enjoy that afterlife. So with that said, once again, I stand for freedom. So, good for you, women. Good for you. Get your bags. As long as you're not hurting anybody out there, you'll be just fine. Keep your heads up. That concludes today's show. Be sure to tune in next time for more gender war arguments. Also, check out all these awesome shows here and so much more on my channel. And much love, everybody.